going to do my favorite hip opening combo in quadruped. So once you have your mat set up, go ahead and flip onto hands and knees. You're going to start in your flat back position. And first we're going to do a little cat-cow. So go ahead and exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, belly button drops, gaze lifts, sit bones flare. And go again. Exhale, push the floor away with your hands to slide your shoulder blades apart. And then let the belly button come down. We're separating the sternum and the pubic bone. And we'll do 2 more. Exhale, round. Shoulder blades wide. Tailbone tucked. Inhale. Sternum and tailbone separate. Pull backwards with your hands. Last one. Exhale. And then on this one, after you've completed your cow cycle, go ahead and come to your flat back. Bringing 1 foot forward on the outside of the hands, we're going to start with our lizard knee sway. So you'll let this front knee sway out to the side. The arch of the foot will peel off, and then you're going to close back up. And we'll go again, swaying out to the side, opening the knee, and then coming back in. Depending on how you're feeling, you're welcome to try this with 1 forearm down on the mat for a little bit extra. Or if it's available to you, you can have both forearms on the mat. And that is, a little bridge too far for me on the way in. So I'm gonna put my 1 palm back. Yeah. Let's do 1 more. And then bring it back in, lift back to both palms, and we'll go into our rotation. Hand closest to the front foot lifts up towards the ceiling, chest rotates, and then thread under in the opposite direction. When you lift to rotate, you're pushing in both directions. Hand is pushing the mat down, opposite hand is trying to lift the ceiling up. Reach under the armpit. Let's do 2 more. Reach in both directions. And thread. You're welcome to have your back knee lifted here if that feels better in your body. And then replace the hand this time on the outside of the foot. You may have to walk it in a little bit. And we're going to take a rock back and forth. Sitting your hips back towards your heels, you can walk your hands back to lift your toes up. And then rock back forward, looking for an opening in that back hip. And we go again. Lifting the toes, starting to straighten the front knee. You're pulling this hip crease backwards so that you get length through the back of the leg. And then you're walking back forward. On the next one, we're going to add on a little bit in our rock forward. Pull the hip crease backwards. Back is relatively long. This time, walk forwards. We're going to lift the torso. Take a moment here. Maybe see how curling your belt buckle towards your belly button feels to open that back hip even more. And then same side hand as the front leg comes to the thigh. And you're going to side bend towards that front thigh. Taking a breath into that side rib. And then coming back down. Both hands plant, and you're going to step that foot back into your plank position. Let's take just a moment in a downward dog here, reaching the sits bones high and wide up to the ceiling, pushing down into the mat. Armpits are long towards the mat in front of you. Maybe take a little walk of your feet out here if that feels good. And then go ahead and bring those knees back to the mat. And now we need to do the whole thing on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and flip around so you can see my leg that's moving. Opposite foot forward on the outside of the hands. We're starting with our lizard knee sway. Knee opens out to the side, arch lifts, and then pull it back in. Take a couple in this palms position, palms on the mat position. And then if you want to experiment with dropping an elbow, You can also just bend the elbows a little bit more. That'll also deepen this if being on a forearm or both forearms isn't for you today. Yeah. And then let's take 2 more in whatever position is speaking to you today. And then come back up to the palms, and now we'll rotate. Hand closest to the front foot lifts up. We're trying to reach in both directions, and then we're threading under. And yes, it's the hand that's lifting, but it's the rib cage twisting that initiates this movement, and then it's the rib cage moving in the opposite direction that changes the direction. So we're thinking belly button spins towards the front thigh, and then belly button spins towards the standing elbow. Last one, big lift, push into your mat. Exhale, thread. And then this time, we're gonna bring the hand on the outside of the foot for our rocks backwards and forwards. As you rock back, you're peeling the toes back towards your face. You're trying to pull that front hip backwards to deepen your hip crease for that length in the hamstring. And then walk back forward. Feel that opening in the back hip. And we go again. Hands walk back, toes pull back. Length as we pull the back pockets level. And then walk back forward. We'll do one more full one like that, and then we'll add in our lift. So all the way back, long spine, crawling forwards. This will be our last rock to the back. Pull those toes with you. And then this time, as we walk forward, you're going to lift the arms up, find that moment. Maybe see how it feels to tilt your belt buckle towards your belly button just a little bit more to see if we can find a bit more space in that back hip. And then same side hand as the front knee is gonna drop down, and your side bending towards that front side, thinking about making a really nice rainbow shape from the back hip all the way up to the fingertips. Breathe into that side body. And then when you're ready, come back, both hands down on the mat, step back into your plank position, and then one more time, we're gonna pike the hips up into your downward dog. This time, go ahead and bend both knees so you can push with your arms even more, and then straighten both knees. See if you can drop the heels a little deeper. Bend both knees, push your chest towards your thighs, and then straighten both knees. Heels reach for the floor. Last one, bend. Push, push, push with the shoulders, open the armpits even more. And then let the heels drop. And bring yourself all the way back to quadruped. And there you have it. Hopefully your hips feel a little bit more ready and willing to take on the day.